What's going on, Self Growth family? It's Phil. I'll make another video for y'all. Sorry about the delay. Had a lot of stuff going on. My mom came up to visit. For those of y'all who are friends with me on the other Facebook, you saw the videos we was making, the pictures and stuff like that. Also had my little sister get engaged. Congratulations to her and Garrett. So I was moving all over and stuff like that. Sorry about the delay. I wrote a post about friendship, and a lot of people read it, liked it or whatever, but also wanted to have a video made so I can kind of elaborate in between the different bullet points. It's going to be a lot of information, so I'm going to talk quick. Please keep up. The first one is it's all about friendships and relationships. It says, do you even know what a real friend looks like? It's not just someone that you can actually laugh, not just someone that you laugh with, but an actual good friend. Do you know the qualities to look for? Like if you wrote down the top 10 to 20 qualities of a good friend, what would they be? You know, would it be loyalty, would it be integrity, would it be accountability, would it be to hold you to a higher standard, would it be someone who prays with you, would it be someone who's always there for you, would it be someone who sows seeds first? What would it be for those qualities of a good friendship? Also, what would those qualities be? The same 10 to 20. If you're going to list down the top 10 to 20 qualities of a good relationship, is it going to be someone who communicates well, someone who gives, someone who compromises, someone who leads the family? Is it going to be someone who supports you? Like, what are the qualities for a good relationship? Now, with having those 10s to 20s characteristics and qualities, how many people in your close 5 have those? If you wrote down the list of your 10 closest friends, how many of those 10 have all of those qualities? How many of those have most of the qualities? You know, not just compromise because you know them a long time, not just compromise because they're friends, not just compromise because they're family. If you didn't know them, if it was your first day at the job, would they have most of those qualities? Without the emotional connection, would you say cut or dry, black or white, yes or no? You know, what would it be? How many people do you know have? How many people do you even know? Because people that you know are also going to influence you. Like the other post said, your seasons by the people that you associate with. You know, how many people do you know who at least show those characteristics? That way, that can influence you to have those characteristics too. You know, how do good friends act? Like, what are the characteristics of a good friend? Like a good friend, like I said, isn't someone who just you have fun with. Like a good friend is someone who's supposed to add positivity and so into your life. A good friend is someone who you build with. Not just smile. Look, there's a lot of people there's a lot of funny people in the world. There's a lot of goofy people. There's a lot of people who might have the same interests. But if they're not moving you forward with God's purpose for your life, that's not a good friend. Point blank period. You can find a lot of casual stuff, but if it's just surface level friendship, it's not moving you forward to what God has as His purpose for your life. Or just if you're not a spiritual person, if it's just not for what your goals, or if they're not bringing positivity in your life, however you want to look at it, the truth is God's purpose. But whatever. If they're not doing that for you, you need to cut them loose. Because you're only adding strife and negativity into your life. They're only pulling you backwards. There's a book recommendation, 10 Critical Laws of Relationship. There's no neutral relationships. Every relationship that you have is either a hindrance or a benefit. Once you know that, look at it, cut and dry. Is this person pulling you forward or backwards? Doesn't matter how long you've known them. Doesn't matter how many things you have in common. Doesn't matter how you know them. Are they moving me forward or backwards? And evaluate that and be honest with yourself. And if it's moving you backwards, you need to have a conversation with that person. If they continue to move you backwards, you need to step away from that individual. Point blank period. Let's see. How many have most of those? What are the signs of a growing relationship? Oh, okay. Now, there's a lot of people that you're going to have known for a long time. You probably had a lot of different types of conversations, but a growing relationship is how many times they give you an idea, how many times they encourage you, how many times they motivate you, how many times they strike a new chord with you, how many times they stretch you, how many times have you been around a friend or someone that you know and you're like, man, I got to get my stuff together, or man, I got to do more, or man, I got to achieve more, man, I got to read more, man, I got to learn more, man, I got to better myself, man, I got to act right, man, I can't be doing that stuff no more because it's making me look bad, like I got to step up to get to that level. Like, that is a growing relationship. How many growing relationships do you have? Okay, let me stop. Let's start this way. Do you have any growing relationships at all? Because you need to start to have some before you have many. Like, you need to get at least that one friend that's going to text you or Facebook you and say, okay, what did you do today to better yourself? What did you do today to stretch yourself? How did you move yourself closer to your goal? Do you have any of those? Do you have any of those to say, okay, how much did you read today? How much did you pray today? Hey, did you get those things accomplished today that you talked about trying to get accomplished yesterday? Do you have anyone to do that? Do you have someone who you can say, okay, look, I'm going to lower my ego enough that if you see something that I'm doing that is hindering my growth, that is messing up what I'm trying to accomplish in life, do you have someone you can say, all right, look, shoot me honest, shoot me straight. I'm mature enough. I'm mature enough. I'm mature enough to handle that. Because if you're not mature enough to handle that, then that person can only talk to you in the level as a friend. They can't really talk to you as a mentor or a friend who's going to help you grow. So are you mature enough to handle when someone talks to you with some honesty? That's something that you got to address on your own. Last time someone in your close circle stretched you, do you have anyone to stretch? Okay, what are your non-negotiables? Like some things that you're just not going to do no matter what it is. No matter who tells you that you need to do this. If you're a married man, I'm not going to go to certain places because it compromised what I promised my wife I wouldn't do. If it is just somebody out and not even in the spotlight, but if you know that it's something that morally contradicts what you're about, you're not going to do this. If it's drinking, if it's smoking, if it's partying, if it's saying cuss words, if it's watching certain stuff, like whatever it is, what are your non-negotiables that you have? If it's your standards for your friendship, if it's your standard for relationship, look, baby girl or husband or however, boyfriend, homie, look, I'm not going to talk to you a certain way. You're not going to talk to me a certain way. Just because if you start talking in this tone or saying these types of words, it just gets to the habit of disrespecting each other, and we're just not going to do that. That's not a negotiable. Do you have those with your friendships and with your relationships? Okay, how to wait, stretch you. Okay, what are your, okay, do you even have, okay, what are your real friends? Okay, is everybody welcome to your circle? Just because if everybody's welcome to your circle, then you're probably not having a circle that's filled with standards, and that's probably going to lead to stressful situations. It's probably going to lead to arguments. It's probably going to lead to a headache. It's probably going to lead to a lot of petty situations if there's not a standard. Listen, I'm not saying be rude to people. I'm not saying be better than people. I'm just saying you have to have certain... look, it's in the book, same book, 10 Critical Laws, qualified relationships, where we're going to act this way, we're going to hold ourselves to a certain level, we're not going to do the certain things. If this is what you want to get down with, get down with. But if you're about that other stuff, hey, I'll nod my head when I see you in the street, but you're not really someone that I can associate with because you're going to be a negative influence in my life. That doesn't mean that you're better than them, but it does mean that you know your value. There's a difference. Okay? What else? Okay, ooh, I like this one. Alright, wait. You thought about how it affects you. If everyone, nah, I got that. You know what it affects. Okay, what is your 1 year goal? These are your goals. Now I like this part. Now with your goals, we've already talked about this. Have people who have similar goals or similar minded with you. What are your 1 year goals? No, back up. What is your goal for today? Do you have it written down for what you're trying to accomplish today? Because if you have your goals written down for what you're trying to accomplish today, your mind works like a scavenger hunt for I'm going to get all this stuff done, and you'll make sure that you do that. And if the stuff is going to move you forward in life, you're more likely to get a lot of stuff done. Now, what is your 1 day goal? What is your 1 week goal? What is your 1 month goal? What is your 3 month goal? What is your 6 month goal? Have that stuff written down. Even if it's just your 1 day goal, that's still little small victories. That's going to keep motivating you and making you feel better about, hey, I can get this stuff done. I can accomplish this stuff. Have that written down. Okay, how many people do you have around you that are currently helping you to reach your goal? Even if it's not them physically doing something for you, they're just mentally motivating you. Do you at least have that? How many people do you have speaking words of encouragement? How many people do you have praying for your success? I know that there's people who Facebook and message and everything like that, hey, I'm praying for this next level to happen for you. I'm praying for this, and I do the same for them. Do you have that as well, or do you just have friends that make fun of your dream? Hint, if you have people like that who are friends that make fun of your dream, they're not your friends. Okay? What is the role of the 5 people closest to you in achieving your goal? Do you know that? Like, what do they know? Okay, this is just supposed to be for what you're supposed to do. This is what I'm supposed to be doing for you. Like, do you have that so everyone knows where they lie in the role of achieving the goal? Because clarity makes the path easier. Okay, if you're going on a path and it's foggy, it's kind of hard to navigate. Now, if there's clarity, it's easier to navigate down it. So make sure that you have clarity with the roles and the people in your circle. What's more important, mentorship or friendship? Touched on this earlier. Mentorship is better for you than friendship. Friendship is going to be cool, but if you have a mentorship with the right person, it'll also kind of be a friendship as well, but you'll have that person who could speak honesty to you whether or not that you want to hear it. They tell you what you need to know. They tell you what you need to know and not just what you want to know, or not just what you want to hear. They tell you things are going to better your life. They tell you things are going to make you change for the better you. Now, it's not someone just being a drill sergeant to you, but it's someone who has a vested interest in the further and the growth of your life and the progress of your life. Okay, do you have a mentor in your life, and do you know the difference between having a friendship and having a mentorship? Because you'd rather, I personally, next question, would you rather have truth or sugar-coated information? If you're mature enough, it'd be truth. Now, what about your friends? Are your friends mature enough to have truth, or are your friends still looking for sugar-coated information? Because that could tell you the maturity level of your friends. What is more important, integrity or friendship? Integrity should always be prized more than friendship, because your integrity will keep your friendship intact. If there is no integrity in that friendship, that friendship will eventually fizzle out. There'll be something that'll cause a separation in that friendship due to a lack of integrity. Make sure the integrity is important in your friendships. Do you know the results of a small compromise? Hint, there was a small compromise in a guy named Adam. How did that change his life? Do you compromise your standards for a friendship? Okay, real quick. Your real friends won't make you compromise your standards. Know that. Do your friends make you compromise your standards? Nope. What is your moral compass? Do you have a moral compass? Do you understand that your life is led and navigated by your moral/spiritual compass? If you have a moral/spiritual compass, you will not get lost. Lost people only are lost because they don't have that moral or spiritual compass, and it shows. Do your friends have a moral or a spiritual compass? Are they lost? Are they just drifting through life? Are they pulling you with them because they don't have a compass? Don't let lost people navigate you. Please don't let lost people navigate your ship, because you'll end up just as lost as they are. All right. Write down your 10 closest friendships. Are you a giver and taker in those friendships? Listen, you should strive to be a giver in your relationships, and if you are doing that with the right people, now make sure that it's fertile soil. Make sure there's good people. Make sure there's not selfish people, because otherwise you'll get walked on. Otherwise you'll get taken advantage of. Otherwise you will get used, right? But if you're sowing that seed of being a giver into fertile soil, into people who are mature enough, into people who want to be givers too, you will have other people striving to outgive each other, and that's a good friendship. Write down the 10 people closest to you. Are they givers or are they takers? Was it even close? Are you the only one that's giving? Because that's a problem. Are you surrounding yourself with sowers? Are you surrounded with friends who are fearful? Okay, this is kind of switching gears, and I'm sorry for the long video. Are you surrounding yourself with people who are fearful? Because fearful people make fearful decisions. Fearful people have fearful thoughts. They have fearful assumptions, right? And that's just going to cause more strife and more arguments with your friendships and cause more tension. Listen, have people who live life on faith, because if they're not living a life on faith, they're living a life on fear. And a life that's lived on fear is not a godly one, because God is faith. God is not fear. That's somebody else, right? So know that. Are your friends anxious? Kind of the same thing as with fear. Anxious, fearful people make anxious, fearful decisions and make anxious and fearful comments. Do they live by positive faith or by fear? Do you know that the absence of fear leads to the abundance of problems? The absence of fear leads to the abundance of problems. Like I said, a lot of problems are going to come just by a lack of fear in certain situations. If you have people who live on faith, that stuff will be fixed. Now, do your friends know that? Make sure the people that you are around live a life of faith, not a life of fear. This is Phil. Sorry for the long video. Try to get it all in as quick as possible. I love y'all. Stay blessed, and above all else, grow yourself.